People have God on do. And alright, big up on yourself. Make sure you not read the Bible and pray, So, I never did get no message from the Holy Spirit to come share by here. I did decide to me come and come chit chat. We don't know. But, as me about to, come just chit chat random something come up. Alright. So just let me make this and throw it out there and then we can go in and more and chit chat about. I made a video the other day talking about how all of us are chosen and all of us have a ministry, all of us have a calling, whether it's positive or negative. Okay, so this video now today, right now, we're talking about depending on the area in your life that the enemy is attacking or has attacked you, that's where your calling also is. So there are so many ways for you to find out what your calling is, and sometimes you have more than one. But some of the things that we endure and face in life, where the enemy is fighting us, that's the curse in your bloodline, in your generation, that you came here to break. And this is why the enemy come after you and your life in that area from a very tender age. So if you can sit for a minute, and work with God, work with Jesus, work with the Holy Spirit, and just submit and let him show you, via the Holy Spirit. Or you can just sit down and think about it. Just look at the area. Is it your finances that the enemy is fighting? Then, there is a generational curse to break in your bloodline where, low on wealth and all these things. If it's your health, chances are you're a healer and you need to overcome these sickness in order to help others. You need to break the curse, find out what opened the gate or the door or the window in your bloodline for that, sickness to come in. You would hear from time to time when you go to the doctor, they will ask you if anyone in your family had diabetes or high blood pressure or heart failure, stuff like that. Those type of sickness, they would say, oh, it runs in the family. Yes, most of the time the sickness that you face and inherit in your bloodline is not only physical, it is also spiritual. And if it is spiritual, it will show up in the bloodline physically, just like everything else. Just like perversion and molestation and raping and not being married, having children out of wedlock, can't finish high school, all drinking, smoking, whatever it is that you're struggling with. There is an open door, a gate in your bloodline. It came in somewhere. And if you decide to turn from the path of tradition and your family, your bloodline, stop doing the things that they were doing and submit yourself to God and start to pray, then he will show you the things that you need to break in your generation and your bloodline. And most times when you take up that mantle and start to walk with it, you have to separate yourself. That's a sad part, because when knowledge and wisdom starts to increase, the bloodline will start to fight you. The family will start to fight you. They will hate you because you are not operating like them. You're not doing the things that they are doing. You're not, you're doing different because you're being led by God through the Holy Spirit. So now you're seeing things. Your eyes are open. Certain things happen to you in the family and you refuse to cover it up. You're a generational curse breaker. Now, you alone cannot break all the curse in the generation, or the bloodline, but depending on where the enemy attack you, you will know that that's where your calling is. So, I wanted to share that. If he's attacking you in relationships, then you already know. you are meant to have a successful relationship, and so the enemy is attacking you because they don't want you to get it. And in order for you to get that relationship, you have to break the curse in your generation. So if it is that all of the women in your family don't have a husband, or them husband left them go take the side chick, or them left them go do this, or them left, or the husband abuse them, or you name it, whatever is happening in your generation. I see it happen to your grandmother, your mother, your auntie, your cousin, everybody, and it's happening to you, and you can see that it's a pattern. You can make the change. You can intercede in prayer. You can break it. Yes. Now, a lot of people don't want to take up their calling because it's very hard, and you have to live a disciplined lifestyle in order to break these things. And you can't dip on the side of the fence, 1 foot in or 1 foot out. You have to submit fully. But whether you're 1 foot in or 1 foot out, if that's your calling, you're going to get a fight there. So might as well you get serious and take up your mantle and go fight your battle. Yeah. So I came on here to talk about something else, but the Holy Spirit bring this to my attention. And I also spoke about forgiveness the other day, that the betrayal comes in your life and come to you because the enemy is trying to make your heart so bitter. And when your heart is bitter, you cannot worship, you cannot serve God, and all of those things. And the way to conquer betrayal is forgiveness. You have to forgive anyone and everyone that hurts you, do something wrong against you. Pray for them, and then that's how you overcome the betrayals. That don't mean that it will stop. It just means that understand it better and know that it's not the person, but the spirit that is within the individual that is fighting you. Right? So it's the same thing now. When the enemy comes at you, you're going to know what your calling is or what your purpose is in this life, in your bloodline, in your generation. Once you find out what it is, then God will give you knowledge on how to fast and pray and break it. And sometimes that means separation and turning away from the customs and the practices of said bloodline and generation. Sometimes you end up losing your entire family because they won't agree with you breaking the norm. They won't see value in what you're doing. Nonetheless, you still have to endure and do what you have to do for your sake, theirs, and for the generation that will be birthed out of you, meaning your children, grandchildren, and people to come. If you don't break the norm, if you don't make it stop at you, then it will be passed on to your children, and they will have to do it. And believe me, if it's hard for you, it will be harder for them. Right? So, if you were molested, like somebody in a family or friends, whatever, then the enemy is attacking your virtue, your purity. So that's something that's been going on in the family for generations. Nobody's talking about it, and they might hide it, put it on the rug because of shame and pride. Now, how you break it, you call it out. When you call it out, they're going to hate you because there's always somebody in the family who's protecting the pervert. But that's how you break it. You break it by remove it from under the covers. Let it be known that this was done, this was said. Also, while you're doing it, you cannot do it from a place of hate, although you will be hurt so much that some people become so hateful and bitter, and then they are the victim that become the monster, the person that portrayed this thing on them. But when it happens, it's for you to understand that it's not the individual, but the spirit that is in that individual, the evil spirit. That person too who molests you is also a victim. Sometimes they aren't, but the spirit can easily attach to them because they are not serving God. And like we all know, the time is never enough to illustrate. If you have questions, inbox me and leave a comment, and I'll definitely respond to you. So forgiveness is the key. Pray for them, and if you're being attacked in that area, it means you're supposed to break the curse by exposing it.